At RETRAVISION, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at RETRAVISION.
A lot more secure in the line, so pushing forward.
Bad shot here, boys, and we start a roll here. One bad shot to open the door here, boys. Come on, lad.
Yep, one bad shot is going to bring Faf du Plessis in, mate. Yeah, Faf du Plessis just got 100. That's a pretty good form, Bernie.
Welcome to the pavilion, everybody. We are back again for another week of fun, love, and entertainment of this great game in the Peel region. My name is Orazio Santalucia, and this is your favourite part of the week, no doubt. So we've got a lot to talk through today, and we're going to try to put that all within about an hour or so. We're here, as we are every single week, with thanks to fantastic partners, and this is where we really need everyone listening to get behind our partners. We've got RETRAVISION. RETRAVISION, they've got all the electrical stuff that you love at ridiculously low prices. I believe they're still in their half-year clearance. If not, I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter because their prices are cheap anyway. They've got all the best stuff that you love. They've got all the best advice, 60-day price promise, and also extra 5% off if you're an RAC member. So get into RETRAVISION now. We've also got ESA Sports Agency. Johnny Sanders there running the dream set up there, making every sports moment epic. They do custom design team wear. They do promotional collateral. They do sports coaching. You get access to sports stars and all other things, but they're also the distributor for that stuff in the corner there, EVERLAST sports drinks. 750 mils of isotonic hydration. Beat the heat, and boy, is it hot at the moment. Got into the lemon zest myself on Tuesday during the call. Does a great job. Great prices, fantastic way for your club to to make some of the folding stuff. Everyone wins, including your players and the people that are drinking it. They are getting that hydration, and dehydration is a real thing. And isotonic drinks do make a massive difference. So get into the EVERLAST there. And also, thanks to Sport FM 91.3, your sports station for the community. If you are listening to this at between 8 and 9 on Saturday morning, welcome. And thanks to Sport FM for playing our show. Okay, so what are we going to go on about today? Well, we are down to 2. Yep, we are down to 2. We know who the RETRAVISION Premier T20 League Grand Finalists are. We knew one of them. We knew it was Shoalwater Bay. They are defending their title, but we now know that the mighty Hall's Head are through after a pretty convincing win in what was an entertaining game on Tuesday. We'll have a bit of a debrief of that game there, but we've basically got a replay of last year's RETRAVISION Premier T20 League Grand Final where Shoalwater, let's be honest, Hall's Head would have gone in favourites, and Shoalwater just did what they did. They played magnificently as a team. They all had roles, and every player to the man did their bit throughout the competition, and they were fantastic winners and deserved winners. So it was great to see. I know they were super proud of winning that, and I know they're super pumped to be defending their title. They watched on during the week and obviously took some notes and worked out how they're going to put a plan together to see if they can defend that title. So Tuesday, 7th of February, 6:30 p.m. Really want to see as big a crowd as we can come down to Peelwood Reserve. So let's get everyone there. We have got confirmed, we've got an activation for the Blasters. So for the Junior Blasters, there's been some flyers going around. So have a look at the socials on Peel Junior Cricket Association, or jump on your club. Your club's got information as well. just register, come on down. There'll be an activation for the Junior Blasters because they're going to start their Term 1 programs as of next week, I believe. And we should be working together, our senior and junior clubs, really promoting the game and getting the next crew of cricketers coming through so get more boys and girls playing the game. The two competing clubs, Halls Head and Shoalwater, their kids are actually going to get an on-ground experience. So as you probably see at Big Bash games where a lucky Blasters team or centre gets 11 representatives and they normally go around the inner circle and the players run out and sign a hat and things like that. Well, we're going to do the PCA version. So we're going to have both teams sort of line up. Players are going to run out. They're going to sign hats. They're going to have signed RETRAVISION hats, and we're going to get around our little kids, our next players, which I think is quite important. It'll be a really good family atmosphere. We're going to have a food truck there. Go-to food, they're called. Their specialty is sort of like a South African type of curry. And it's, quite mild, or you can get it hot or whatever. It's up to you. But they also do your burgers and chips and all that sort of stuff. So really, really good stuff. They're going to be there. Still working on an ice cream van, hopefully, but the bar will be open too. So let's get as many people there as we can, and let's just celebrate all good things PCA cricket under lights. Tuesday night, balmy evening. What else would you rather do? So let's get down to Peelwood Reserve on Tuesday. Women's T20 cricket goes into finals mode as of this week. So we'll have a quick preview and review of the season there. Also a little note about Women's Country Week. Peel Cricket Association did the business last Sunday, comfortably defeating the WA Invitational XI, and the PCA team are through to the grand final, the final of the Belt Up Country Cup, taking on the arch nemesis in Bunbury District Cricket Association. A little chat about that too. WA cricket updates. T. Wiley and Corey Wasley were in action for WA second 11. Quick wrap up of that. Bit of Scorchers chat. Obviously, that is the talk of the town. It's Thursday evening as I am recording this. Yes, I've been slack this week, but there's been a whole heap of things on. But at the end of the day, we know who we're playing, and we are playing the Brisbane Heat. How they won, I've got no idea. It's not their fault. They just play to the rules, etc. But at the end of the day, how a team like Brisbane Heat get through to the finals in the first place, I'm not sure. But Michael Nessa, he's got to be one of Australia's favourite cricketers. I don't think there's anybody in Australia that doesn't like that guy. He is a terrific player, and so unfortunate not to be playing at higher honours. I hope he hasn't given up, because he's a star, and he was the big winner tonight. He was amazing. But Scorchers Fever's definitely hit WA, and how good is it? And yeah, it's a packed show, as I've said. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a little break. We're going to give our sponsors a little bit of a plug and give them a bit of love, because they give us a lot of love. So remember, RETRAVISION, 60-day price promise, all the electrical stuff that you love. Let's get around them. Make sure if you're getting any electrical goods, white goods, and as I say all the time, even the old Weber barbecues, if you like your barbecuing, your charcoal stuff, or even the Weber Qs, all that sort of stuff, they are one of the Weber official distributors as well. So get down to RETRAVISION. You're on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. My name's Orazio Santalucia, and we will be right back after this.
RAC members get exclusive deals and offers, plus an extra 5% off on top of our lowest price guarantee at RETRAVISION.
Welcome back to the best show about cricket in the Peel region, the only show about Peel cricket. Where else are you going to know more about cricket in the Peel region than right here on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show? Proudly supported, as always, you know who, RETRAVISION, ESA Sports Agency, and EVERLAST Sports Drinks. And if you are listening on Sport FM 91.3, thank you for tuning in, and thank you to Sport FM for supporting us as well. We're going to talk RETRAVISION Premier T20 League, my favourite part of the season. Yes, I might be biased, but I really do believe that this is a special thing that we've got, and it's something that we need to be proud of, and it's something I'd love us all to really get behind and support. So we're going to do that. We're all going to head down to Peelwood Reserve this Tuesday coming, the 7th, for the grand final a repeat of last year's grand final, Shoalwater Bay versus Halls Head. It will be an absolute humdinger. No question there. We've got the defending champs in Shoalwater Bay, who were the giant killers last year, and they're looking to continue their giant killing ways against the might and power of Halls Head, who flexed the muscle yet again on Tuesday night. They played Mandurah in the Battle of the Bridge. Mandurah won the toss. They inserted Halls Head, and at that moment, after the first ball was bowled, they must have just thought, oh boy, wow, what have we done? It was carnage for the first, it really was, for the first 5 overs. It was carnage. So at the end of the first over, they were 3, 7, 8, and then they went 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 1, 1. Then they had some wides, another 4. Then they had more wides. Third over, a couple of boundaries. Fourth over, another boundary. Fifth over, started with a 6 and then a 4. And it was just going and going and going until the first wicket fell. So Aaron Burridge and Josh Rudge were the first players to go in. And first wicket fell at 44, and that was after about 2 minutes. And I'm serious. It was just ridiculous. And then the run machine that we know as Jack Manuel, he joined. He's Saturday skipper in Josh Rudge, but Jack takes the reins on the T20 matches. And they put on 80 or close enough to 80 in very, very short time. Both were just smashing the ball left, right, and center. Josh Rudge was out eventually for 43 off 33 deliveries. Manuel was out for 49 off 33 with 3 6s and 3 4s. And then the tale of 2 halves of an innings happened. So basically at that stage, it looked like Hall said we're going to make 250, 260. I mean, Mike Cricket at one stage predicted they were going to make about 330. They were going at a stupid rate. They went from 2 for 120, 3 for 133, 4 for 137, 5 for 137, 6 for 137, 7 for 137. This is the turnaround of turnarounds. 8 for 154 and then 9 for 159, 9 for 160 at the end of it. Some of the bowling figures, you'd think in that sort of score, and at the start with the carnage, you thought some of the bowling figures were going to be out of this world. So Chris Chalou went for 20 off his first over, and he finished with 2 for 28 off his 4. Jai Donald, the big bustling WA under-19 representative, did a really good job. He got 1 for 24, should have had at least 2. Stewie McLean, who did a great job with the ball, fantastic ball. He had a real big play. He dropped a bit of a sitter. He'll admit it himself on the fence. He took 2 for 22 as well. And look, and Ben Brattain, who just does what he does. He got 3 for 31. Real competitive. He probably bowled, probably the worst he's bowled all season, really, to be fair, but still finds a way to stay in the game. And look, 160, it was funny because Mandurah went off. They had all the momentum. Hall's Head might have been a little bit flat. Everyone's thinking, wow, what have we got here? Because it looked like it was going to be a massacre. It still was a bit of a massacre in the end because, unfortunately, the batting just never got going. Hall's Head showed why they are one of the top teams. All their bowlers did well. Marquee player in Chris Davenport, who is the Fremantle captain, he took 4 for 17 with his leg spin. Tim Miles really rolled back the years, another Fremantle connection there. He got 2 for 14 and bowled with some real pace. Scotty Martin started and did what he does, just charged in and really sort of set the scene. Aaron Burridge bowled some real pace. It's really good. The last couple of games, he's coming back from injury and he's working up a real head of steam, which is really, really good to see. But Mandurah never really got in it. They were all out for 102, and Hall's Head ran out 58-run winners there. They bowled them out in the 17th over, or 18th over. So we now know who the finalists are. Shoalwater, who I still think in the field have put on one of the more, they've probably put on the sharpest display. Their 2 games that they played, look, that's just an anomaly of the draw. They've been sharp, really sharp in the field, really tight with their bowling. They've looked a treat. They've got I think they've got the best fielder, not only in our competition, but in, one of the best fielders in WA in Mitch Oliver, who made his debut for the Peel Cricket Association on Sunday in our Belt Up Country Cup match. We'll talk a bit about that a bit later on. But yeah, so they've got a real crack unit in the field. They bowl well. They really know they've got their plans. They've got, young dynamo in Corey Wosley who comes out. And if he does what Corey Wosley does, and we've seen it, he can tear apart an innings. They've got really good batting all the way through. They've got Charles Kunji. They've got Dudley Cortland, who's just a star of our competition as well. So they've got a lot of batting, a lot of bowling. Good spin bowling, good pace bowling. That's going to be a good game. And then Hall's Head, well, we know what they've got. They're just stars littered all the way through. It's going to be an absolute cracker of a game. I can't call it. I don't think anyone can call it. Anyone in their right mind can't call it. But what I can call it is going to be a great game. We've had a really good competition. We've had our challenges along the way. I mean, we started with the lights going out in the first game. And we've had our challenge along the way. But what I'm hoping is that we start to really influence and encourage teams to really look at this as a real opportunity to promote our competition, to promote their club, and just to provide something different. I think T20 cricket's exciting. I think it's a real great way to sell our game, not just our as in Peel. I think our game as cricket. Cricket's our game. So with that, one last reminder, this coming Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. will be the start. Proceedings, everything all start at about 5 o'clock for the activations and things like that. So look out for the flyers, look out for the information there. You're going to see it all over the place. They'll be on Facebook. It'll be everywhere. So you've got no excuse not to know. You know now because I've told you, and you're all listening in your thousands. Peelwood Reserve, come down. Make it a family day. Let's come down, watch some really good cricket, watch it live, see a celebration of everything we've got here in the PCA. Let's get the PJCA involved and anyone else, friends, family, etc. Come down. Bar will be open. There'll be a food truck, happening to get an ice cream van as well. But all in all, we're going to have some good cricket. So that's the main thing there. And good luck to both teams. We will be announcing a team of the tournament as well. That'll be a new thing that we're going to introduce this season. We're going to have a team of the tournament, and there's obviously be a man of the match. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to calling it. I've enjoyed my time calling it. I hope you guys that are listening enjoy it. And I love the fact that people have been interacting online. So if you can't get there on Tuesday, feel free to interact with me during the call. Hoping, like Hal, that I've got Sideshow Bob, aka Tim Lees, on board. And if he is on board, because he has just started a new role. Remember, he has moved back down to civilization down this way. So they're still settling in, and there's little teething issues as you do, and that's fine. But hoping to get him on board. And if he is, he's going to get unleashed into the crowd as well. So if he does come up to you and have a chat with the mic, all that sort of stuff, just say g'day and go along with it. Okay, so that was a wrap-up of the RETRAVISION Premier T20 League, and we'll have one more wrap-up, obviously, and that'll be the review of the grand final, and that'll be next week. So what we'll be doing now is we'll be probably going to another break, again, to let our sponsors get a little bit of a plug. They all do fantastic things for us and fantastic things for you. Also, I forgot to say in the intro, we are going to have a chat with overseas star playing for Waroona this year in Prav Chahal. So stay tuned for that. The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. You know who sponsors us. My name's Orazio Sanolicia, and we'll be back right after this.
At RETRAVISION, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at RETRAVISION.
Okay, everyone, we are back for yet another segment of our favourite show, The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show. Okay, so what are we going to move on to now? We're going to have a chat about Belt Up Country Cup. Belt Up Country Cup. Yep, the PCA were out in force again. Last Sunday, we're playing against the WA Invitational XI. The WA Invitational XI is made up of players from around the regional areas of WA that are eligible to play for the Country 11, and that their association either doesn't have a team in the Country Cup or is not playing at the time. The whole idea is that from that sort of squad, the country head coach in Tim Edmonds gets a bit of a look at some of these players and sort of starts to work his way through selection for squads for future Country 11 teams. Obviously, the Country 11 just came back last week or the week before even, after coming second in the Australian Country Champs. Had a really, really good tournament. Probably a loss in the first game was the one that was the difference, but they did end up beating both Country New South Wales and the eventual winners in Country Victoria quite handsomely. And the reports that I got were in the game against Country Victoria in particular, Adam France, the big horse from Pinjarra, was not only the match winner, but did some things that a lot of people haven't seen on a cricket field for a long time. Hit some huge bombs all over the ground. Their bowling had no answer for the big fella. And, they said it was just some of the most amazing things they've seen. So well done to Big Adam. And I know that there have been some bowlers on the end of some of his big hard hitting, that's for sure. Took 5 from the weekend, just gone as well. To remind everyone that he's a big brute fast bowler too. Anyway, the PCA, we won the toss, elected to bat. The game was played at Breckler Park, which is the home of Mount Lawley District Cricket Club. They hosted the match, and the game was on a used wicket, as you'd expect, but it was very dry. Didn't have anything done to it between the games, so it was a bit of a dust bowl as well. And skipper Josh Rudge had no hesitation in batting first because he knew what was going to happen. It was just going to get lower and slower and more difficult to bat as the game went on. So Josh went out to bat with Brad Williams. This is the Brad Williams, the South African who's migrating out here, who plays at White Knights Baldivis, and they batted beautifully for the first wicket. They put on 70 before Josh Rudge was out. He was out, run out, a bit of a mix-up between the two. I'm sure they shared a Coke later on and worked it out. Brad Williams went on to bat. He made 45, played some beautiful shots, some really good cross-bat pull shots. For those who get the Mandurah Mail, you would have seen his photo taken by yours truly. I was pretty proud of that one. Playing one of his cross-bat pull shots. He looked really good and got out for 45. We had a bit of a collapse. Lost a couple of wickets in a few balls when Josh Rudge, Brad Williams, and unfortunately Dudley Cortland couldn't continue his hot streak. He was out early, and that brought Damien Burridge and Jake Wiley to the crease, and they put on a pretty good partnership there. They put on roughly 50. My maths is not working this time of the night. Before Damien Burridge was run out as well. A bit unfortunate. We're not sure he was actually run out, but that's what the umpire thought, and that's that. He made 25 of 27. But Jake Wiley went on and held the innings together and batted really well in really hot conditions. I mean, it was really hot on Sunday. Big guy did well. He finished on 66 not out of 82 deliveries. But he did really well and sort of held the innings together. And there was some late hitting at the end. Ben Brattain come in to 17 off 14. And at the end of the day, we got up to 8 for 210. The batters that batted on it for a fair while, sort of their indication was that was closer to 250, 260 because it was a real hard slog. It wasn't an easy wicket to bat on at all. But well done to Jake. Played really well, really mature innings. And I think he's starting to really find something after having such a long break. With the bad leg injury, as we would have heard his dad, Peter, on the airwaves at the back end of the game on Tuesday night. Sort of battled some injuries, and but he's come back and he, like I said, batted really well and sort of seen this coming for a while. I went out to bowl. Ben Brattain and Big Prav Chahal, who we speak to just after this segment, opened the bowling and quite quickly, we knew that probably wasn't the way to go. And it was nothing on the bowlers. They bowled well, but that was the only way these guys were going to score. They had some good attacking young players, no doubt, but pace on the ball made it a little bit easier, and it was a new ball wicket. So basically what that means is as the ball's hardest and it's newest, it's probably the best to bat. So quite quickly, Jake worked that out, and he got the spin and the slower bowling on. So the ever reliable, the WA Country 11 spinner himself in Dan Abel, come on, just did what he does, 2 for 20 off 10. Thank you very much. Probably should have had another one, except he couldn't work out that he had to stay within the return crease, which are the sidelines. As soon as your back foot cuts that, that's a no ball. He does know that. But anyway, he took 2 for 20, bowled really well. And then everyone else sort of did their bit. You had Dan Sutton Jr. come on. He did his little bit, bowled 4 overs for 15. Mitch Oliver come on, bowled 4 overs for 25. There's just 1 or 2 balls that sort of got stuck in the hand, but other than that, he did a really good job. And then Jake Wiley, who just couldn't stay out of the game, come on and really did a great job with his off spinners, really traditional sort of style of right arm off spin. And he took 3 for 18 off 7. And they never looked in it at all. Whenever they sort of started to develop a partnership, the bowlers did well. They'd contain them for a short while, and then these guys would just chip a catch somewhere and get out. And it was amusing to see at times. I got out on the ground, and I had to do a bit of square leg umpiring as our PCA umpire got a little bit ill in the heat, and he just needed a bit of a break in a cool sort of room for a while, which is okay. That sort of tends to happen. So that was all right. I didn't mind getting out there for a little bit. And then even Damien Burridge had a bowl, and he's sort of rolling back the years and bowling his seam up sort of stuff again. That's the type of bowling that a younger Damien Burridge was selected to play for Australia as the under-19 captain at one stage. And bowling all-rounder in those days, but he's done just about every other thing other than probably start bowling left arm. So don't be surprised if he comes out and starts doing that. The talented cricketer, he took 2 for 11. He was really smart with what he did. And even Braden Haskell, who's been a real find throughout the competition, big strapping lad. Hope he keeps at it. He come on and he got only 3 overs towards the back end, but took a wicket and probably could have had a couple more. He bowled really well too. So end of the day, PCA bowled him out for 132, and that meant that Peel are through to the final of the Belt Up Country Cup. That'll be on Sunday, February the 26th. That game will be at Creswell Park, and that will be against the undefeated Bunbury District Cricket Association, who are winning everything before them in country cricket. They dominated Country Week and won that quite handsomely to go back-to-back. And they also had 5 or 6 players that were in the Country 11 as well. So they're doing well. It'll be a challenge, but it'll be an amazing day's cricket. It'll be a fantastic win if we can get up and take home the Belt Up Country Cup. So, look, we're trying to make sure that it is on Frogbox on that day. So we've got a month to sort of sort that out just about. But either way, if you don't have anything planned on Sunday, February the 26th, it's only a little short drive up the road to a lovely new, well, it's not a new ground. They've got a brand new facility as in a pavilion. A great cricket ground, very, very good cricket club. They are the premier club in WA. So if you've got nothing else to do on that Sunday, or you happen to be sort of floating around Perth, why don't you drop in and support your boys? I know I'll be there, and we're hoping to get a bit of a crowd there as well. So good luck to everyone that is involved with that. Thanks again to Terry McNeil too. Does a great job for us as team manager, scorer, just a fantastic person. Enjoy every minute of being sitting next to him when we do the RETRAVISION Premier T20 League matches. And yeah, he's just a really, really nice guy. So thanks a lot, Terry, for everything you do. He's been doing a lot of WACA stuff late, or WA cricket stuff, including this week he was scoring the second 11 game at the WACA ground. He did some stuff during, as we mentioned, early in the season when he was doing stuff. He was employed in the World T20 Cup, etc., and he's done some of the Sheffield Shield games and all sorts. So he's a wanted man, is Terry, and so he should be. Okay, let's move on to the women's T20, and they wrapped up their regular season last weekend with wins to Halls Head, South Mandurah, Shoalwater Bay, and Secret Harbour. So that means the ladder looked like this. Finished with Halls Head on top on 44 points, South Mandurah on 40, Shoalwater Bay on 36, and Warnbro on 32. So they are the finalists. Mandurah finished 5th on 20, Secret Harbour 6th on 12 points, Pinjarra on 8, and White Knights didn't get off the mark this year. So the semi-finals next week or this week actually, Halls Head versus South Mandurah. That will be a big, big game. South Mandurah are the defending champs, and Halls Head are the runaway leaders at the moment. So that'll be a big game. And Shoalwater Bay take on Warnbro at Shoalwater Oval. I know the Halls Head South Mandurah game will be live streamed, so if you want to watch that one, jump on the Frog Box footage there. Either go to the Halls Head website or jump onto My Cricket, go to the ladies T20 section, and you'll see a link to the stream straight there. So good luck to all the ladies involved there. I know this where it starts to get really exciting, and we've got some exciting things happening in women's cricket, including the Women's Country Week or Country, whatever you want to call it. They play 3 days of cricket. It's a great inception into the country program, and it enables our girls to get a taste of sort of higher end cricket. It's going to be in Bunbury this season and next season, so they're going to host over the next 2 years. We've had, I think, a dozen nominations so far. It'd be great to get a few more. We've got to send our final nomination in by the end of next week. And then the draws will be made, etc. So anyone listening, if you know of people that want to be part of it, please jump on to either speak to your club delegate or your club president, or even look on peelcricket.com. We're going to have some things there where you can just jump on and sign on there. If you're still looking and you can't find it or whatever, look, just come straight through to me, president@peelcricket.com. We will make sure you get a game. So we're looking to organise some training, a meeting, even a scratch match or two to prepare the girls and get ready to go. In the meantime, there is some background work going on, working in conjunction with the PJCA and Rockingham Mandurah District Cricket Club in sort of working on a female coaching program. More details will come out. I don't want to really sort of talk up something that I may have got slightly wrong, but it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be something that might make a difference. We really need to move. We really need to move to a hardball opportunity for community cricket. That's not to say that the softball cricket goes away. Far from it. We just need to also provide a hardball option because cricket is a hardball game, and we've got junior girls that are playing hardball cricket, and they need to be able to progress. They don't all want to play Premier Cricket, so it's our duty as a competition to provide that pathway, and pathway is just an opportunity to play cricket. So I think we're ready to move, and let's just hope that we get the support. But anyway, look, there's some exciting things happening there. So good luck to everyone involved there. Okay, WA cricket updates. So during the week, I mentioned that we had a couple of our guys in Teague Wiley and Corey Wasley playing for the WA second 11. Now, they went on and beat Tasmania in their 4-day clash at, we'll just say the WACA ground. It sort of sounds good, doesn't it? The WACA ground, really old-fashioned way to sort of call the game. Anyway, played Tassie. Batting first, WA got 302. Of which Teague Wiley was the leading run scorer. He got 81 and held the sort of innings together. Darcy Short got 48. Cam Gannon, the big fast bowler, got 63 or 57 towards the back end. Corey didn't have the greatest day. He only got the one. But hey, that happens. Anyway, they made 302. In reply, they were able to bowl out Tassie for 294. So very small lead going into the next innings. Wickets there were Charlie Stobo, who was actually, I was commentating Premier Cricket, WA Premier Cricket on Saturday. It was University versus Claremont Nedlands. There we go. And Charlie Stobo is the captain of University Cricket Club, but he was called up as an emergency for the Scorchers. So, he got called up and another player got called into his place, but he's having a pretty good season. Good cricketer. He took 5 wickets, and Cam Gannon, 60-odd, and then a fourfer. And WA went out and batted again. No, sorry. How did that work? I think what happened, sorry, Tasmania batted first. They got 294. WA batted second, got 302. Tassie went in again, got 124. In their second innings, I should get my stories right, shouldn't I? Second innings, it was Charlie Stobo who got 6. He's taken 11 for the game. He's had a fantastic game, which left 119 to chase down for the victory. And WA got that 2 wickets down, and Teague Wiley was there at the end with 40 off 74. So he's had a good game, and so did Darcy Short. He got 46. So WA won that game. Teague had a good game. Good sort of setup for him to be able to put his name up for selection in the next Shield game, which starts again, I believe, next week. The Shield cricket starts after. Well, great segue into Saturday. The Big Bash Grand Final here at Optus Stadium. It's going to be an absolute belter. Full stadium. It's going to have 50+ thousand. Going to cause absolute havoc with club cricket. This Saturday, I know already in our PCA, we've the executives made a decision to allow some flexibility around this Saturday's fixture. At the end of the day, there's no point fighting it, and we should be supporting our Perth Scorchers. So as I speak, I know that there are games that are being either rescheduled to play on either this Sunday or next Sunday. The games have to be finished by next Sunday, or they're starting earlier, or they might even be a shortened game to get it in. And look, as long as both teams agree and notice is sent through to the association, we are happy for this round to be played in that way. But games have to be played by next Sunday, and if not, they are forfeits. But look, we've got to be flexible, and we've got to be realistic, and it's about trying to keep everyone happy. And people want to go to watch their Scorchers win. We've been starved of really good cricket, and we're a big chance. After tonight's game, the Sixers were humbled. I'm not sure whether they prepared a rubbish, low, slow turning wicket, because you can always get done like they did tonight. So I don't know whether they did it on purpose. I mean, the evidence sort of suggests that that's been the SCG this year. It's been very ordinary. I know there's a really, really strong case being made by a lot of people to turn the SCG into a drop-in wicket as well. That's AFL football for you. It just takes over the world. There's obviously a very, very strong contingent that want to keep it as it is, but there'll be a point where performance matters, and if they can't get the square back to something that's vaguely suitable to play decent cricket on, the SCG might be the next one to go. That's cricket. That's the challenges we've got before us with our big, massive stadiums that we've got. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I may be going myself. Just confirming a thing or two there. But either way, I'll be watching it. And I dare say a lot of WA will be watching the game as well. Should be an exciting one. Got the Brisbane Heat. Look, they shouldn't have won tonight, so cannot count your chickens. And I still remember, unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of you listening remember that hot day way, way, way back when they came to the Wacker and they robbed us. We stuffed up. They robbed us. They took the title. That's their one and only title, because we should have another one. But they won it by robbed. I mean, they came and sort of burgled us. We didn't expect it. I think that's one of the early times that we sort of got Lind. We sort of worked out, geez, this boy Lind can hit a ball. I think that's what if I can vaguely remember. I do remember it being really hot. But anyway, that's a sort of outside cricket. What else is sort of happening? We've got Australia about to take on India in the Test series. That's caused an absolute ruckus with the Big Bash, and let's be honest, the Big Bash should have been finished by now. I mean, the Brisbane Heat, well done. That's not their fault. They've just done what they can do, but I don't even think they should be in the finals. It's an 8-team competition. How you've got 5 finalists got me beat. I think you'd be better off following a top three. Top team goes straight through to the grand final. 2 and 3 play off in a knockout game, and then the finals become a best of 3. You can create a story, create a narrative there. Home and away, all that sort of stuff. There's more to it. tonight, if anyone watched, there was hardly anyone there, and this is the decider to get through to the grand final. But anyway, what do we know? So look, that's pretty much a big wrap up of cricket. Probably won't have time to go through the official sort of PCA Saturday stuff, but we've sort of gone big with the T20 cricket, as well as T20, the Belt Up Country Cup, and all some other things in and around. It's a big exciting time with the grand final coming up of the RETRAVISION Premier T20 League. So I wanted to give that the time and air that it deserved, as well as the fact that our rep team's done very, very well in getting through to the final of the Belt Up Country Cup. So they took precedence today. And after this break, you are going to hear a fantastic chat with one of the stars of the competition, Waroona Overseas star, and that's Prav Chahal. Okay, we'll be back after this. You're listening to The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, proudly brought to you by RETRAVISION, ESA Sports Agency, and EVERLAST. And if you're listening on Saturday between 8 and 9, thank you very much. You are obviously on Sport FM 91.3. We'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're back on The Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Show, which, as per usual, is proudly supported by our fantastic partners in RETRAVISION. Remember, if you're an RAC member, you get an extra 5% off their already crazy prices. ESA Sports Agency, they do everything sport, make every sporting moment epic. And you can see in the top corner, there's EVERLAST sports drinks, one of the better isotonic hydration sports drinks on the market. And the best part about it is it's 750 mils, none of that 600 mil rubbish. And I know someone who enjoys an EVERLAST after a big, long spell of bowling, and that's our special guest today, and that's Prav Chahal. How are you, Prav?
Yeah, no, I'm good, Horacio. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Presuming you enjoy a nice EVERLAST after you've bowled your 7 overs straight in the 40-degree heat down at Waroona.
I don't know if I'll get to 7 overs. I might get to 4, but yeah, don't mind an EVERLAST.
Okay, so Prav's the overseas star this year for Waroona Cricket Club, and a part of our competition that I love. I love having some guest players that come along and enhance our comp, and Prav's definitely doing that with 460 runs, averaging 30 with the bat, or tick over 30, and 24 wickets at just a tick over 15. So a real true all-rounder, and one of the more competitive players running around. So Prav, is that competitive edge, is that something you've had your whole life, or what?
Yeah, well, probably later on my years. It's probably come from my dad. My dad was a very competitive sort of player, and then especially being the overseas player, I like to play the game on the front foot. So yeah, I'd say I'm being competitive from, I'd say, about 15 to now. It's been something that's been in my game.
Yeah, it's quite noticeable, and it's something that well, I'm sure the faithful at Waroona have taken you in with open arms, but it's the whole competition has as well, mate. Never say die. You sort of you do it the right way. I mean, you're not silly or anything about it, but you get right in the. Everyone knows that they're facing you when they're bowling, or they're bowling to you when they're batting. Because with your batting, for those that haven't watched, jump on one of the Frog Box games that he's on somewhere. Hard-hitting attacking player, and with the ball. I mentioned to you on Sunday at the PCA rep game that you actually do it quite easy. You sort of amble in, and then out of nowhere there's a pretty quick sort of delivery that comes out the other end. Is that your normal thing, or have you adapted? I mean, have you been more of a sprinting bowler, or that sort of steady approach is your way?
No, I'd say I've always been pretty steady with my run up. I've worked quite a bit on my run up. It used to be even shorter than that, and then I've lengthened it out. Because obviously to get quicker, to get into your low or high 80s, you need a good run up. But for me, I'm not too focused on the pace of the run up. If I know I'm bowling well, or I feel good, it's sort of the rhythm of my run up. If I'm maintaining a pace from the start to the end, like when the test match was on here in Perth, I was watching a lot of Hazelwood bowl. And like, for me, his run up is sort of what I try to get in mind, a smooth pace from start to end. So mine's always been pretty consistent pace, and then I get a lot of my pace from my shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And what about your batting? So as an all rounder, I mean, you're playing. We're playing community cricket here, and you're doing really well. Presuming you're a sort of middle to lower order batter when you sort of bat in your representative stuff back home in England. But how do you split your training normally? I mean, do you do more bowling or more batting, or how does it work for you?
In England, I'd say I do more bowling training, but that's because we're training on grass wickets, so it's a bit easier for me to have a bowl on the body. But here, I'd say the majority of my training is batting, because that's something I've wanted to work on, because I started my whole cricket career as an opening batsman. I never bowled. And then it was only probably the last 3 or 4 years I took up bowling. So now, predominantly my training's been working on my bowling and stuff like that. But here, I'd say mainly batting. But it's hard to balance. Like, that's what I found one of the hardest things as an all-rounder, to balance batting and bowling.
Yep. And you've got your especially when you're in your higher programs, you've got all the workloads you've got to keep up with. So you go to training and you've got 2 or 3 coaches that are going, right, Prav, you've got to bowl 4 overs tonight, and you've got to get through 5 overs tomorrow, or whatever, and all that sort of stuff. And then somewhere in there, they go, oh yeah, by the way, you can go bat in the far net with the old slinger or something like that. You probably don't even face much bowling, and that's the modern game. But that's the joys and challenges of being an all rounder. Now with that, how did you get here? How is Prav Chahal in Waroona?
So I'm at university currently, and I'm working over here, and doing it as part of my university degree. And I got in contact with an agent called Kenny, who I think he knew a few of the players. I think he's over at Shoalwater. And then he said, I've got a club for you in the Peel, like a decent standard of cricket. And then I got in contact with Damien Stanley, and then just all went from there. Like the look of the club after speaking to a few people, and here I am.
You are. That's good. And we're all the better for it, and Waroona are definitely the better for it. So your club cricket, because you told me you're moving leagues. You're going from one league. You're going from the home counties league, isn't that right? And you're going to move to the Birmingham league. So just to give people a bit of an idea of where that all is. So the home county sort of takes, well, you explain. It's sort of put it near. I mean, it is close-ish to London, so that gives people a bit of a landmark.
You have Oxfordshire, so Oxford, London, and then sort of in between Oxford and London, any clubs in there, you have them. And then Birmingham, the Birmingham League is Warwickshire and Worcestershire. Yep. So like I really enjoyed my cricket in the home counties, but for me, the big attraction and like what's in England's widely regarded as the best league is the Birmingham League. Yep. You get real good overseas. Like one of the clubs had Carlos Brathwaite. So for me to go and challenge myself and play in that league is something that, that's why I play cricket, is to play against the best players.
Hope you do better than his first game. He was on a big, I don't know if anyone, so you can look it up on YouTube, everyone. His first game, he played, he's on big money, as you'd expect for the big man. He needs to get fed. I think he was literally out first ball and got absolutely smashed to all parts of the park. So they must have been thinking, you're probably on about £1,000 a game or something. And what the hell have we got here? So, with that in context, Prav, so what are you going on, mate? Are they going to get you a pair of bowling boots and a couple of pints or something? Is that what the new club's signed you up for?
Oh, yeah. I wish it was that much. I get a few pints after a go, I'll be happy. But, for me, I just want to go and challenge myself. I'm young, so I just want to see what I can get out of my cricket.
Yep, no, fair enough. And just to give people a bit of an idea, the Birmingham Premier League is considered one of the better ones running around in the UK. They've consistently got Test cricketers or former Test cricketers. A lot of Asian first class players that are borderline, internationals. Some are like under 19 internationals, and some teams have got a few players. Right? Was it Smethwick you were saying that had like?
Yeah, they got
an unbelievable side.
Yeah, and then last year, one of the teams that actually got relegated. I don't know if you remember Shane Dowrich, the West Indian wicket keeper. He's there overseas, and they got relegated out of the league. So it's like the standard in there is pretty good.
Yep. So that's one of the attractions. I mean, there's plenty of guys that run around in the Peel Cricket Association that have been lucky enough to get over to England now that the borders are open and we can travel and all that sort of stuff. If you get the chance to play a season in the UK, just go. Just don't even think twice. Don't just go. It'll be the best 6 months you'll ever have. So have you pretty simple question. Have you enjoyed yourself being out here? I mean, is it what you thought it was going to be, or?
Yeah, it's everything I thought it would be and more. It's probably been the best 5 or 6 months I've had. Just the vibe and the whole way cricket is played here is a lot different than how it's played back home. Like here is a lot more competitive, like on edge, whereas home's a bit more relaxed.
Yep.
But the actual cricket, I'd say here's a bit more like a defensive style. But in England, everyone's attacking on the front foot. I've loved it, and I'd recommend to anyone like in England to go and come and play. Like even if it doesn't matter what stand, you just get yourself over here to Australia and play something. It will improve your cricket so much. And even for people in Australia to go to England, just to play in different conditions is, it's been amazing for me.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's the beauty of the game. That's one of the best parts about this game is you can go. Well, even more now. There's so many more ports that you can fall into. I mean, there's players that have. It's not new, but players that have gone to Holland to play cricket. My cricket journey took me to Northern Ireland, Scotland, and different parts of England as well. Very lucky to do that. I even played cricket for Italy. There you go. There's you can go to all of those places. You can obviously go across the ditch if you wanted to. I mean, you'd be missing our summer, but you can do that. You can go to South Africa as well. You'd be missing our summer, but same sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of English guys that go to South Africa for the winter, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's just fantastic. And again, from someone who lives and breathes it, people may think the idea that you can play 60 games in a season is ridiculous, but you can. Yeah,
I played 64, I think, last year, like every Saturday, Sunday. And then when we have a 3-day comp, it'd be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you go back to work or whatever, and you just cook. But I mean, you do it because you love the game, you love the challenge. But it's a real grind, especially for it's amateur cricketers. But it's probably a bit higher than amateur. You're not getting paid. You can't do it as your job. It's such a grind, and probably doesn't get the recognition it deserves. But it takes a toll on you. And then I played 64 games in England, and then I came straight here with a few weeks break playing here. And then as soon as I get back home, I've got a game 2 days after I land. So
wow,
constant.
the pro cricketer. So you're playing minor counties cricket for Oxfordshire. Do you again for people that don't quite understand? Can you sort of set what minor counties cricket is?
So obviously in England, I think there's I don't know how many first class counties there are, and they play in the county championship and all that. And then below that, you have your minor counties. So that's still classed as an amateur level, but it's probably more of a semi-professional. So you get a lot of retired pros from counties who come down and play for their local minor county. You get a lot of good youngsters come and play. And then you get your good club cricketers who go and play in minor counties. And then in that comp, you have the T20 comp right at the start of the year. You have... and then you have your 1 day and your 3-day comp mixed together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's such a good standard of cricket to be playing against. And then something that they introduced in the last 2 years, which was where I made my debut actually, was playing against first class counties, warming them up for the Royal London comp. And I made my debut against Sussex at Hove, their ground. And that was a ridiculous experience. Like their coach said, who played 12. And our coach was, oh yeah, who's the 12th man? Who is it? And they go, oh yeah, Jofra Archer. And we've got some lad from the 19s they brought up, and then they've got Jofra Archer who's come back from injury, and he plays.
Was that the game where he bashed sixes for fun as well with the bat?
Yeah, he walked out with a big gold chain on.
Yeah,
hit I think about 5 sixes or 10 balls, then got out, bowled 5 were probably the quickest overs I've ever seen. Broke 2 helmets, and then he went off and sat and had a Nando's for the rest of the game.
as you do,
Yeah.
as you do.
And yeah, Travis Head was playing in that game. I got to bowl to him, which is like, that's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. You're probably not half a centimetre offline, and he'll hit you for 6 back over your head. And obviously, he got player of the season in the Ashes. So minor counties is such a good like part of English cricket. And I say it's probably, from being here, probably maybe something they could have in Australia, because to go and play in the state systems, like there's obviously a lot less states, so maybe bridging the gap between grade and state cricket. But that's essentially what minor counties is.
Yeah. So we got second 11 here. So each state's got a second 11 team. So it's a similar setup, and you've got either the younger players in your squad. I mean, at the moment we've got like T. Wiley, Corey Wosley played the game that just finished yesterday. T had a really good game, and they're preparing for the Shield season, which starts again next week, I believe. So that's where that is. But we don't play anywhere near as many games as the minor county, and you don't play the different formats either. So it's 4-day cricket. You just play. It's an opportunity. There used to be more in it, but it's a long story. We'd have to have a very long 2 or 3 hour podcast to sort of talk about why cricket is where it is at the moment. But anyway, okay, so let's talk England, mate. So let's talk about the mighty England. They are, well, in my mind, they are the best team in the world in every format. I know we're going to play India next week, which you've got a bit of a soft spot for as well, obviously. But and India at home are a very good side. I know India beat us here. We're flat track bullies. We beat most people here, but at the end of the day, I think England are the team to beat. They are clearly setting the standard for white ball cricket. They're just doing things that no one thought could happen. And I just love what Ben Stokes and the old Bazball. I just think that's the way cricket has to be played, because seeing batters leave the ball for 4 overs straight, it's just the silliest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. So, how do you see what's happening, and how do you feel about it? And how do you think that's going to flow down into, I guess, minor counties, county cricket, etc. The whole, Bazball type idea?
I think that's probably a thing that's maybe different playing cricket in England. Like for us, we're looking minimum if we're playing at a 50 over to try and get to 250. And it's like here, it's maybe in the first 10 build, keep your wickets in hand. But back home, it's like just keep going, because the bat's so deep. You just want to keep going, because you have a day where you get bowled out for 150, but then you'll have days where you're scoring 350, you're scoring 300s, and you win games so more often playing like that than you will, I feel, playing the other way. But yeah, I feel like it's come down through sort of the ECB as like a way to play. They want club cricket to be played in that way, and it's promoted that in that way where we play coloured cricket, white ball, and then time cricket. But even in the time cricket, it's such an aggressive style of cricket that I'd say that's how much cricket has changed in England. It's just people trying to entertain and score runs compared to what I probably experienced here, which is maybe a bit different.
And you think on wickets that are normally quite conducive to bowlers, you're probably better off attacking the ball anyway, because the more you try to survive, the more chance you are of nicking off anyway. So you may as well take it on. That's the way I would look at it anyway.
In England, especially early season, you're going to get one with your name with a dark red Duke's ball. So in them 10 overs that you bat, if you can score as many runs as possible in that period, then it's better than you just poking your bat alone. You're going to nick one eventually. So I love what the setup in England are doing with McCallum and Stokes. I think it's brilliant. And I'm looking forward to the Ashes series. It should be a good one. It'll be a real good contest between both teams. It should be good.
Oh, well, it'll be one of the last Test matches that'll be worthwhile watching, because after England, India, and Australia play each other, everyone else that plays everyone else is just going to be a waste of time. But anyway, that's a chat for another day. I know personally playing, that's what I learned. I learned that as a bit of a stodgy sort of opening batter, that was a hopeless way to bat. So it was just like, okay, I'm just going to chance your arm, and you sort of take a risk or two, and then all of a sudden you think this is a much better way to bat than just sort of sticking around, because like you said, there is a ball that's got your name on it, and those lovely, geez, I like bowling with those Dukes balls as well, even bowling spin. They're such a good ball. You must miss that, coming here with our flat kookaburras. Do nothing after about 3 overs.
You bowl a few balls and then they're out of shape, and I can't wait to get back and have a nice big seam, dark red ball swinging around corners.
Especially when it's a cloudy day and they're nearly like a cherry red, aren't they? They're really dark, and I do like that. So without putting you on the spot, would you ever come back out again?
Yeah, for sure. It's something I want to do. I definitely want to come back again with the experience I've had. I'd be so keen to come back and play. I've really enjoyed it.
Yep. And so you said you're going back. So you're going back at the end of the finals campaign. You're going to be able to be here if we're going to get through all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think it's early, mid-April. I think I go back.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Geez, they might even get you out to the footy.
Don't get me started on that. I've had plenty of chats with the Waroona boys about AFR. I can't get into it, but they all try.
Nah, they'll have to. Yeah, I'm sure someone will take. I'm sure. Look, even I could try, mate. Well, someone will get you out to Optus Stadium, and you'll go to get to a game. You have to. You're out here. You've got to watch. WA is footy mad, as you've probably worked out. So, you got to. And one last thing, mate. Who's your football team? Your real football team? Who do you follow?
Probably not good to say this year, but I'm a Liverpool fan. My dad's a massive Liverpool fan, but yeah, probably best to keep it quiet.
Here's me thinking a lot. I liked you, but anyway, there's always something. Look, Prav, thanks so much for coming on today, mate. It's been fantastic to chat to you. Have enjoyed every minute of watching you play, and with our final Country Cup game coming up in a few weeks' time, I'm hoping the selectors pick the big burly fast bowler, because you're a lot of fun to watch, and obviously a very, very skillful player. So thanks a lot, Prav, and enjoy the rest of the season.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Okay,
so that was Prav Chahal, overseas player for Waroona Cricket Club. Absolute star ripper of a guy, even if he is a pom. You're on the Pavilion. The Peel Cricket Show will be back after this. Okay, and thanks to Prav Chahal for his time. Really, really nice guy. Has been a great find for Waroona. And I don't think there's anyone that doesn't like him. He's a real competitor on the ground. We've loved having him as part of the PCA side. He's done a really good job. We're our one overseas player, and he'll definitely be in the conversation for that final team, and he'll have a big, big role in Waroona's run to the finals, no doubt. So thanks, Prav, and we do hope to see you. We will see you before the end of the season, but obviously we'd love to see you back on our shores in future seasons. So feel free to come back, that's for sure. We might even be able to chat to him, in England as well. We'll keep in touch there. Okay, so that's been a great show. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Remember, one final reminder, Tuesday, 7th of February, Peelwood Reserve, the grand final of the RETRAVISION Premier T20 League. We have Shoalwater Bay, the defending champions. They will be taking on the might of Horsehead Cricket Club. If you cannot get along, it will be live and exclusive on the Pavilion, the Peel Cricket Channel, your YouTube cricket channel for all things Peel Cricket. Where you get to see this show. You also get to see live and exclusive coverage with ball-by-ball commentary from yours truly. Tim Lees will be involved. I just got the confirm, lock him in, so he'll be back. We'll get him on the pod as well next week, and we'll get you on the pod next week as well. Good luck to everyone. Go Scorchers, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
At RETRAVISION, we know exactly what you want, like our lowest price guarantee, buy now and pay later, and an extra 5% discount for RAC members. That's on top of all the latest tech from the world's best brands at RETRAVISION.